Welcome to Back Bike Beat. Today we're talking about a machine that carries serious legacy in the motorcycle world, a name that instantly makes enthusiasts stop and look twice, the all-new 2026 Honda CB400 Super 4. This isn't just another middleweight naked bike update. It's Honda reviving one of its most iconic inline-four roadsters and shaping it for a modern generation while still respecting everything that made it legendary in the first place. At first glance, the 2026 CB400 Super 4 feels like a perfect blend of old-school charm and modern precision. Honda hasn't tried to turn it into a futuristic street fighter or overly aggressive naked machine. Instead, they've kept its identity intact. You still get that classic round headlamp design, a properly sculpted fuel tank, clean body lines, and a stance that feels muscular without being over-designed. It's the kind of motorcycle that looks just as good parked outside a cafe as it does carving through mountain roads. But when you move closer, the modern updates start to reveal themselves. The lighting system is now fully LED, including a redesigned circular headlamp with a sharper signature glow that gives it a premium presence at night. The indicators are sleeker, more integrated, and the tail section has been tightened up for a cleaner rear profile. The instrument cluster now combines analog heritage with a modern digital display, giving riders all essential data without losing that retro character. Honda has also improved the overall finish quality. The paint feels deeper, the metal surfaces are more refined, and even small touches like switchgear and levers have been upgraded to feel more premium. This is where the CB400 Super 4 really stands out. It doesn't scream for attention, but the closer you get, the more detail you notice. Now let's get into the heart of this machine, the engine. The 2026 model continues with Honda's legendary 399 cubic centimeters inline-four engine, and this is where things get exciting. Inline-four engines in this segment are becoming rare, and Honda is one of the few manufacturers still keeping this smooth, high-revving philosophy alive. This updated motor has been refined for better emissions compliance, improved fuel efficiency, and smoother overall delivery. But the soul remains untouched. It still loves to rev, still builds power linearly, and still delivers that silky, turbine-like acceleration that inline-four fans adore. Power output is expected to sit in the range of 55 to 60 horsepower, with torque delivery tuned for both city usability and highway performance. What this means in real riding terms is simple. The bike feels calm and friendly at low RPMs, but as soon as you cross the mid-range, it starts waking up, and by the time you push toward higher revs, it becomes addictive. The throttle response has been modernized with ride-by-wire technology, making inputs smoother and more precise. Whether you're cruising in traffic or accelerating on open roads, the response feels controlled and predictable. The 6-speed gearbox has also been improved for smoother shifts, and the addition of a slipper clutch makes aggressive downshifts much safer and more stable. On the road, the CB400 Super 4 delivers exactly what you expect from Honda: engineering, refinement and balance. The chassis has been tuned for stability without sacrificing agility. In city traffic, the bike feels surprisingly manageable for a 4-cylinder machine. The weight distribution is well balanced, so filtering through traffic doesn't feel tiring. Once you hit the highway, the bike transforms completely. It becomes rock steady, planted, and extremely smooth even at higher speeds. Vibration levels are minimal, and the engine feels like it's barely working even when you're cruising at fast highway speeds. That's the magic of inline-four refinement. The suspension setup includes telescopic front forks and a rear monoshock, both tuned to offer a comfortable yet controlled ride. It's not overly stiff like a track-focused machine, and it's not too soft either. It sits right in that sweet spot where you can enjoy sporty cornering without sacrificing everyday comfort. Braking performance is handled by dual front disc brakes and a rear disc setup, supported by a refined ABS system. The braking feel is progressive, meaning you get strong stopping power without sudden harshness. Even in emergency braking situations, the bike stays composed and predictable, which builds rider confidence significantly. Now let's talk about technology, because Honda has updated this model just enough without overloading it. The instrument cluster gives you a semi-digital experience with clear readouts for speed, RPM, gear position, fuel consumption, trip meters, and riding modes. Yes, riding modes are now part of the package: standard, sport, and rain modes. These modes adjust throttle sensitivity and power delivery depending on road conditions. Sport mode brings out the full character of the engine, standard mode balances everything for daily riding, and rain mode softens the response for better traction in slippery conditions. There's also optional smartphone connectivity in higher trims, allowing navigation alerts, call notifications, and ride data tracking. But importantly, Honda hasn't gone overboard with unnecessary tech distractions. The focus remains on the riding experience, not just digital features. Ergonomically, this bike is one of the most comfortable in its category. The seating position is upright, the handlebars are positioned naturally, and the seat cushioning has been improved for long-distance comfort. Both rider and pillion comfort have been taken into account, making it suitable for daily commuting as well as weekend touring. Now let's talk about the emotional part, the ride feel. The inline-four engine is the highlight here. It doesn't just move the bike forward, it creates an experience. As the revs climb, the sound becomes smoother and more thrilling, building into a signature Honda scream at higher RPMs. It's not aggressive or harsh, it's refined excitement. This is the kind of bike that encourages you to explore the upper rev range just for the sound and feel. Around mid to high RPMs is where it truly shines, delivering that classic super smooth acceleration that Honda inline-fours are famous for. Top speed is expected to be in the region of 170 to 180 km per hour, but that's not really what this bike is about. It's about how it gets there. The smoothness, the stability, and the sense of control make every ride enjoyable, not just fast. Fuel efficiency is also respectable for a 4-cylinder machine, with expected mileage around 25 to 30 km per liter depending on riding style. This makes it more practical than many riders would expect from a performance-oriented inline-four. Now coming to pricing, the 2026 Honda CB400 Super 4 is expected to be positioned in the premium middleweight segment. International pricing is likely to fall between $10,000 and $12,000, depending on market and variant. In regions with import duties, the price may vary, but it will still sit as a premium offering aimed at enthusiasts. And here's the biggest unique selling point of this motorcycle, its engine configuration. In a world where parallel twins dominate due to cost and simplicity, Honda is still offering a compact inline-four. That alone makes this bike special. It delivers a level of smoothness and character that is simply different from anything else in this category. It's not the most powerful, it's not the most aggressive, and it's not the most tech-heavy. But it is one of the most balanced, refined, and emotionally satisfying motorcycles you can ride in this segment. So who should consider the CB400 Super 4? Riders who value smooth performance over raw aggression. Riders who appreciate classic design with modern reliability. And riders who want something timeless, something that doesn't feel outdated in a few years. If Honda brings this bike to more global markets, it won't just sell, it will build a loyal following all over again. And that's it for today's Bike Beat review. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2026 Honda CB400 Super 4, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Would you go for this smooth inline-four legend, or choose a more aggressive modern twin? Until next time, ride safe, stay passionate, and I'll see you in the next video.